What makes a good fish story? Is it the size of the fish? The place you caught it? Or maybe it's the one that got away. But every once in a while, a story comes along that sounds too unbelievable to be true. This is the story of how we caught one of the biggest ever recorded shore-caught halibut here in Alaska.
Get the camera, just go.
There's just no way.
We waited such a long time for that bite. Go, dude! Yes!
Well, boys, welcome to Seward, Alaska. Seward, Alaska is a small coastal town on Alaska's Kenai Peninsula. Nestled along the shores of Resurrection Bay and surrounded by towering mountains, it's one of Alaska's most popular tourist destinations. What makes Seward especially unique for surf fishing is how the bay drops into deep water surprisingly close to shore. The average shore-caught halibut is 28 inches, but every so often this beach produces a true giant. The largest ever landed here in the Seward surf weighed a whopping 87 pounds. Well, boys, get used to the view. This is where we're going to be spending the next 48 hours. And as far as views go, it isn't bad. Sir?
Hey, what's up, bud? How you doing?
Good. This is Brian and his buddy Jay. Brian is a friend of mine and a local Seward fishing YouTuber. He popularized surf fishing in the Seward area over the past few years by introducing a new way of doing things.
Okay. Surf fishing over here is not as easy as it is in the Cook Inlet. A few other challenges, so you have to get the bait a lot farther out. And the way you get a bait a lot farther out is with use of a giant drone like this. Hook a part of the line onto the bottom of the drone, then you fly it out there, and then you hit a button in it and it just drops it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
This button right here, you'll see it move.
You have to obviously use a heavier weight, so we're using 10-ounce pyramid sinkers. And then the drone goes out, drops it, and then you have to wait a while for that bait to hit the bottom because it's pretty deep. So right now we have a bait in the water and we're gonna wait for it to hit the bottom. And then once it hits the bottom, we're gonna reel up the slack and then we wait.
Well, I didn't have to do too much waiting because these local guys started reeling in fish after fish.
I don't know how he goes.
In all my running around to see what was on the end of everybody else's line, I almost missed the bite on my own.
Definitely doesn't feel as heavy. I saw something flash though. Come on. Okay, guys. First fish of the trip. We have a Pacific cod. He's healthy looking.
Yep.
It looks pretty good. And we will eat this and this will go in the cooler.
Nice.
That is exhausting, but really cool. Ryan was telling me that there's actually a drop-off out here somewhere, and it actually happened for a really crazy reason.
In 1964, they had the great earthquake that took out the town of Seward. Both sides of Resurrection Bay collapsed in when the earthquake hit.
In 1964, Alaska was struck by a magnitude 9.2 earthquake, the second most powerful recorded ever. Seward was hit especially hard. Much of the city's waterfront was destroyed, lives were lost, and parts of the shoreline collapsed into Resurrection Bay. The underwater landscape changed dramatically, creating the steep drop-offs that still shape the bay today.
But this whole edge fell over into the ocean, and so there's a drop-off where it just turned on its side. So when you're bringing fish in, they hit the corner of that and get stuck. So you gotta be careful with it.
So it's like a hazard for fishing almost.
Yeah.
Oh, so far, boys, it has been a cod fest with a little bit of rain, but I think we've been here for all of 2 hours. Can't complain. We're catching fish. I'm gonna go ahead and walk over here and meet our second guest. The guy who took me out and taught me how to surf fish is here, so I'm gonna help him carry some stuff over. If you guys remember AHMED.
AHMED owns and operates Shorebound, a surf fishing guide service here in Alaska. He's also arguably one of, if not the best, surf fishermen in the entire state. And over lunch, Ahmed tells me he wants to try something that hasn't been done before.
Okay, so Ahmed has an idea, and when Ahmed has an idea, I agree with it, and I say we should totally do it. So he thinks that we should put a close to American football size bait out there. I'm cool with it.
Honestly, as big as I can make it. We'll see. I'm just gonna keep building it, and you say stop.
Well, joke's on him because I'm not gonna say stop.
You never know. Big bait, rig big, catch big, right?
I like it.
It's like one of those sandwiches where you put burger in between two steaks, right?
Let's hope the fish feels the same way. Bait is out. Jump in the pool. All right, the big bait's out. If something eats that. If something eats that.
It's either gonna be a cod, which is gonna be really disappointing, or it's gonna be a good size halibut.
Okay. Halibut.
The first hour of the big bait being out came and went with no action. Ahmed caught a cod on the smaller bait rod.
I don't think I wanted that.
We put another small bait out and something ate that, and it felt much heavier.
This feels way heavier. Okay, I don't know what we got. Oh man. God, why is it so big? Oh. No, dude, it's just fat. There's a fat cod. Yeah, it is. We're keeping that. Come on, fat cod. This is a super thick cod that is somehow still alive. But it's a fat fish, and he's like a very healthy looking fish. So this dude's gonna get ate. Chunky, 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 chunky. Hey guys, it's been I don't know, probably an hour since we put the big bait out. No action on that. Brian caught another cod, so there's definitely fish still out there eating, but we want a shot at a bigger fish, so we're gonna go ahead and rig the other rod up with a bigger bait and send that monstrosity out there. I mean, the good thing is we can just leave those baits sitting out there. We don't have to do anything else with them. Nothing's gonna eat. If something eats them, it's gonna be big. So we'll send another big bait out, see what happens. Dude, you can see it swinging the whole way out there. Look at that splash. It is. We're gonna get waked from it.
With both big baits in the water, there wasn't much to do, so I decided it was dinner time.
All right, guys, it is 5 o'clock here, and it is dinner time. Little halibut fillets. Good stuff right there. A little bit of dehydrated veggies. I like to throw them on there. Yes. As far as my camp meals go, this one's not a bad looking one. Ahmed just made a pretty good point. We're not very far into our fishing journey over here. We still have the rest of today, tonight, and tomorrow. And he just said, yeah, it's crazy we're gonna do this for another 30 hours. We're just gonna stare at 2 rods with giant baits on them for 30 hours.
Yeah, pretty much.
This was his idea. I helped. How long have we had the heavy baits on? 2 hours now?
No, it's been way more than that. It's been 4 hours maybe.
It's been 4 hours with the same giant baits in the water and no fish. But I said the best bite is 3 hours after high tide. That would put us at around midnight tonight. 7:40 right now. Well, we're just I'm just gonna keep looking at rods. It's been 17 days, 15 hours, 3 minutes and 47 seconds since our last bite. It's been 8 hours.
Let me do that.
And I brought butter, and the butter fell into nasty dirt water, and I was gonna make a grilled cheese, and now I can't, so I'm grumpy about that. We're getting little munches on the rods, little taps here and there, and just get the juices flowing a little bit, but I don't know, man. I don't know. Me and Ahmed are both in agreement that we ride out the big baits. Because if something does eat those, if something eats those, It's a big fish. Also, it doesn't look like it, but it's 11 p.m. So Alaska's a cool place. Is it on?
Yeah.
Tell me it's on, bro.
It's on,
Okay, you got it. Go, go, go. You go. You're good. You're good.
Dude, your fish.
No, brother. Just do your thing. I don't want to risk passing it off to lose it. I want it caught. So whatever we got to do.
I'm gonna die from a heart attack.
I know, my heart's racing.
There's just no way.
Okay, what the okay. Just a quick update. We were talking about Lord knows what. The rod went off, the whole thing went down, the drag is peeling. This is happening. This is not a drill.
I can't breathe. Like my heart is just exploding out of my chest right now. Like, why is it on the other end of this line?
It's not moving?
No, not right now.
Do you think it's on the ledge?
Could be. Just give it a second.
Okay. So, if you guys remember, we were talking about earlier, there's a drop off out there and it's just straight across. So what happened is, what we're thinking is he swam basically onto that ledge. So the line's here, the fish is here, down underneath that ledge. So we just gotta hope that he will swim out eventually and we can get him.
I mean, I'll wait all day if I have to. It has to move at some point.
He will. He'll have to swim up. We're gonna walk down the beach and see if we can get it unstuck. So what's the hope? You'll just get him off the ledge?
Yeah, which I've done in the past with fish.
Are you getting anything back from him?
It's like, there's a bit of give every now and then. Not much, but we might as well see this through, and if we can't get it out, then we just put it in the rod holder.
Okay. What does it feel like?
I mean, I'm getting line back slowly, but I feel like, I don't know. Let's put it in the rod holder for a little bit, I guess.
Okay. I don't know, guys. It's not looking good. We waited such a long time for that bite. We waited such a long time for that bite. We're just gonna put it in the rod holder for a minute and then see if that fish will swim out. But I don't know.
Like, I just don't know what the odds of it staying hooked are. Even with 2 hooks, like a fish that's just got no resistance on it.
Yeah.
That's easily bigger than 50 pounds. I don't know how big that is.
Shot in the dark, right? Say this boat comes right towards us. Did they let us jump on the boat to go get that fish? If they come right at us and we're like, hey, this is a situation, can you take us out?
I would think they would.
And then do we put an asterisk on that for being a shore caught fish, a surf caught fish?
I mean, we would land this fish 100 times out of 100 times if it wasn't for that stupid damn ledge out there. And it really did feel like the fish just booked it straight for the bottom of
It
the...
did. Are like coming. Okay, that's some drag being pulled. Okay, it's going. Do we need to tighten it?
No, I want it to go as far as it wants to.
Out.
Yeah. Jesus Christ. We're back to square one. We're back to 300 meters of line out.
Can you feel him straight right now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can reel him in right now.
Okay.
And this has to be the most weight I've ever felt on the halibut.
Is he on the shelf again?
No. I'm just shaking like a gentle pull up.
He just got a little squirrely, but not anything crazy. Like he didn't pull. Okay. I'm gonna set the rod down on that, okay?
Hold on to that. Grab the ball. Grab the ball.
God, let's go, dude! Yes! I can't pick it up. I just need to sit for a minute.
We are the first people in Alaska that came at stars into the big fish and actually fought with it.
You look over here. Look at that. So the plan was to stay here and fish until tomorrow, but we got to get that fish home to process it, and I don't have anything big enough to put it in. So dude, you guys, like, I literally want to freaking cry. I'm so stoked, man. Like, that is unbelievable, man. That is unbelievable. Probably. I don't think you guys can see me at all, but we got to get this fish home, get it on ice, and then we got to weigh it and measure it in the morning. So we're going to figure all that out. But you guys stay tuned, because you are not going to want to miss how much this thing weighs and how big it is.
Good morning, boys. My wife got me McDonald's. AHMED's on his way over. We're gonna tape this fish and get it processed.
What do you think, brother? I don't know either, bro. I don't know either.
I'm super sleep deprived.
Yeah, did you sleep at all?
For 3 hours.
Okay, same.
I mean,
This is how he is. This is how we have him right now. And we have to find a way to get him downstairs.
my back, dude. The front, is this big enough?
That's a 60-inch fish for sure.
Yeah. All right, flip that 60 over. What does it say?
108.
108.9.
Yeah. We maxed out the tape measure.
Maxed out the tape measure, 109-pound fish. I think we did all right, brother.
Yeah.
All right, so 115 next week?
This was just a regular Monday for me.
Yeah, same place, same time. Yeah, it's a regular one day. Book with Shorebound. He does this all the time.
I've caught fish all over the country, from small to big. But doing this from shore with AHMED was by far the most rewarding fishing experience I've ever had. After hours of waiting, second-guessing ourselves, wondering if it was ever going to happen, and coming painfully close to losing the fish, it all came down to one moment. Alaska sees very few 100-plus pound halibut caught from the beach, maybe once or twice a decade, and to have my name on that short list is something I'll never forget. It's been 3 days since the craziness happened. Took a lot of time to edit that video. Didn't put out a video this last Monday because I wanted to make sure that this one is like as perfect as it can be. Just what an experience. I'll try to be quick. I'm never quick about these things, but I just want to give two absolutely massive thank yous. First, to Brian from Be Outdoors. Since I came to Alaska, him and his family have been nothing but good to me. They are some of the best people that I have ever met in my life. And so his Swell Pro drone, Brian's, actually took out both of our big baits, the bait that got ate. So big shout out to Brian. Like I said, that and among other things, man. Brian, dude, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You and your family are awesome. And then last but certainly not least, AHMED. None of this is possible without him. He was just a guide that I had booked, shot a video with, and we became really good friends. He's put a ton of time into this, into the surf fishing here in Alaska and done so much research. I will be forever grateful that he let me join him. I've caught the fish that I have because of him. I mean, he's spent years trying to learn this fishery and understand it, and I mean, nobody catches fish like him. I think that's it, you guys. I'm not gonna talk too much more. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. It was probably one of my favorite. So go the fuck outside, and I'll see you guys next week.